going on?
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, are you up?
Let me check out that ring.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. Nobody believes that Jake Paul can beat Anthony Joshua. Well, we were once in this position before when a lot of boxing fans thought that, yeah, same situation, that Andy Ruiz had no chance against the guy who was arguably the best heavyweight boxer in the entire world. What did Andy Ruiz go out there and do in June 2019? Well, he beat AJ's ass, and he shocked the entire combat sports world. And I think, Lucas, that's what Jake Paul is hoping is going to happen on December 19th at the Casilla Center in Miami. Of course, that fight going down on Netflix. You're going to have tens of millions of people watching. Now, I think a lot of people are probably tuning in because they want to see Jake put on his ass for the first time. But Andy Ruiz saying maybe that doesn't have to go down like that. Maybe Jake Paul actually does have a chance in this fight, Lucas. We actually spoke with Ruiz recently. Now, Ruiz, he's shorter, so he's a little heavier than Jake was when Jake fought Anthony Joshua, excuse me. But he's a shorter guy, much like Jake Paul. We asked him, you have any advice for the problem child?
What advice would you give to him, like, technically?
I think just having faith, man. Having faith, don't be scared, and do what you gotta do, you know? Ask God for that victory, and He will come through, and just be fearless, you know? That's what you gotta do. You gotta be fearless and give it all you got, you know?
Any secret to, like, you know, boxing a guy like
Just
like
get
Joshua?
him with the right hand. That's what Jake Paul's looking for, the right hand. And if he lands, he could do good damage. So a lot of people underestimate Jake Paul, but in reality, he's a good fighter and he's dedicated, and that's what I like about him.
You get on the phone with Jake before the fight?
I haven't, but I'm gonna hit him up.
That's
And
what's up.
try to give him some little pointers on.
Part of the advice was pray. But aside from that, he said he's actually gonna reach out to Jake. If you're Jake Paul, you would think you'd listen to the guy, right?
Answer the phone, Jake Paul. But here's the thing about the boxing game. We all know this, and everyone says they're an expert, but you don't know what's going to happen once those two fighters get in the ring. And Jake Paul, what people have said, you know, he might not have the endurance just yet of an elite boxer, but that knockout power has always been there, and we have seen that with some real viral and vicious knockouts that you can't fake. You can't set up or anything like that. Those, you have to be able to hit with so much force to be able to knock someone out cold, and Jake Paul has done that.
Right.
Now,
Look what he did to Tyron there.
All it takes is one punch, and Anthony Joshua has been on the receiving end of a punch like that via Andy Ruiz. So he's like, look, this is entirely possible, and we'll see where it goes. But the number one thing that he said, and I know it's silly to look back on it and be like, well, you said pray, but it goes along with what Jake has always said too. Like, I manifest it, I know, I believe in myself, you know, whatever you believe in that before you get into the ring against a monster like Anthony Joshua.
It doesn't matter what everybody else believes. It means nothing when the fight happens. If Jake believes in himself, and I believe he does think he can win this fight. The one thing that people have criticized Anthony Joshua for over the years is that he does not have a chin. That he's basically got a glass jaw. And if you hit him, you can knock him down and you can beat him. And that's why Andy Ruiz knocked him down a few times. You know, there is a direct correlation between your size and the punch you can take. Jake has not fought somebody this big before. Anthony Joshua was 6'6" tall. He's 251 pounds or so. So he's the biggest guy Jake has been in the ring with. Doesn't mean Jake can't knock him out. The odds are about the same. It's like plus 1,000 or so, give or take. So you risk you risk $100. If you believe Jake Paul can win, you could win $1,000. So huge odds. What the deal was for Andy Ruiz, he won. Can Jake follow in those same footsteps? Moving on to a crazy scene at the end of the Monday Night Football game last night. And now the NFL not wasting much time here in stepping in and doling out some punishment.
The NFL decided that Carolina Panthers defensive back Trayvon Merrick has been suspended 1 game without pay for unsportsmanlike conduct. And they pointed out you can't hit players, you can't kick them, anything like that, or opponents in a game. There is a moment that went down earlier in the game that led to this.
And there's your final 20-9. And Juwan Jennings is getting into it with somebody. At the end of everybody kind of shaking hands. Both offensive tackles are in there, and that is Trayvon Merrick, who gets that shot to the face from Juwan Jennings before these two teams leave the field.
Yeah, obviously there's something that happened during the ball game or throughout the course of the game that Juwan Jennings has taken exception with.
The guy took a cheap shot and hit him in the I was real proud of Juwan for not losing his mind out there and get him to the sideline.
So as it turns out, they went through the footage of the game earlier, and they found this moment where Christian McCaffrey was running the ball, and Juwan Jennings, receiver for the Niners, who actually had 4 catches, 51 yards, and a touchdown on the night. So good night overall, except for when Trayvon Merrick went up to him and punched him right below the belt. Now, both sides...
Which kind of made a lot of... It then made sense what happened after the game.
Right.
Because why is this guy so mad? Why does he go make a beeline for an opponent after the game? Hey, you know, it's over. The Niners have clearly won the game. That's it. Move on. No, he was pissed off for getting hit. I mean, I would be too.
2 sides to every story here. And, of course, Merrick said, look, Jennings is a physical guy. He was... going at it after the final whistle and everything like that, and he was just going too far. But Jennings said he was actually surprised by all of this. He's like, look, I was just doing my job. Now, I know some defensive backs don't like how I can be physical and I can be stronger than them, but regardless, the NFL looked at Merrick and said, what you did is unacceptable, and you're gone for a game.
He is appealing, by the way, so we'll see what happens. Sometimes these appeals, low percentage win rate doesn't usually help. We'll see what happens. Everyone's still talking about Shedeur Sanders' first NFL start last weekend. NFL analyst Ross Tucker called the game for CBS. He's going to break down from his vantage point when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Babcock and Lucas. The NFL fans, everybody still talking about Shedeur Sanders after he led the Browns to a win in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Now, Shedeur Sanders, at least for the time being, is the starting quarterback. Well, there's a lot of noise surrounding Shedeur because he's just one of the most polarizing players I think that we've ever seen. How did he actually look, though, during the game? Because we had a chance to talk to Ross Tucker. He was the guy behind the microphone for CBS Sports on Sunday. So he got an up-close and personal view at Shedeur Sanders and his play. What do you think?
I thought he did a really nice job. You know, I was impressed in a lot of areas. I mean, the statistics probably aren't going to blow anybody away, 11 of 20, but to me, it's the eye test. And it's the clear improvement from how he had played the week before in that second half against the Baltimore Ravens, when he kind of got thrown in there. You know, he took some sacks. He had a bad interception. He was drifting out of the back of the pocket. As a former offensive lineman, I had a healthy appreciation for the fact that Shedeur was getting the ball out of his hands quicker. He was buying time. He was stepping up in the pocket as opposed to bailing out of the back of the pocket. He did a lot of things that really looked improved to me, which I think is all you want, right? I mean, he's a young player. He's a rookie, 5th-round pick. You want to see him making strides. I thought he made major strides from that second half against the Ravens to his first start against the Raiders.
And there, Ross brings up this statistics, which, look, not knocking anybody's socks off, like he said. 11 for 20, 209 passing yards, a touchdown, and of course he had that interception. But the bottom line, and the only number that matters, is they won the game.
I watched the game again Monday night. Not to sound too nerdy with the Browns here, but I just wanted to watch Shedeur again. And the thing that I noticed with what Ross was saying during the game lines up with this, but at the same time, it's like he was praising him for just throwing the ball away on third down when everyone was covered and there was nothing available. Well, it's like some players can make things happen out of nothing.
Yeah.
I know we can't expect too much from a rookie in his very first start here, but it was kind of towing the line of like just going too far with the compliments here. But it is nice to hear somebody say, breathe, everything will be okay. Don't look at the stat sheet. Look at what was actually put out on the field. And we'll see what happens with another start under his belt, because as Shedeur said after the game, you know, more reps, more repetition. Imagine if I had a whole offseason with the first team reps. We'll see what happens against the 49ers on Sunday.
It's a harder game, obviously. The Raiders are one of the worst, maybe the worst team in the entire NFL. Not the case for the 49ers. They've got a lot of injuries, but they've got some talented football players still. So, yeah, I think because you listen to people, he's either the worst player you've ever seen or the greatest player you've ever seen. And it's probably like, I don't know, somewhere very much in the middle there. He's a young guy. I'm excited. There's excitement around the team. I think that's a certainty.
And to hear some positive things about a Cleveland Browns quarterback, I mean, I haven't heard that since Baker Mayfield, so refreshing.
It's been some years. All right, Lucas, moving on to I wanted this to be a couple, but it's a relationship that apparently is not meant to be, because country music star Megan Maroney she's setting the record straight after there's been a lot of talks since last month, since October, that she was dating Nick Bosa. Speaking of the Niners star. She was at a Niners game, in fact, at a suite in Levi Stadium. She had on a shirt that said Moroney 9, Lucas, and I think a lot of people thought that they were dating. I don't know why they made the jump to Nick, but he's one of the big stars on the team, and people thought that they were an item. Well, apparently not the case.
Slow down, everybody. We have an update from Moroney herself. She was doing an interview with People where she claims.
Oh, we're not believing this?
I'm not dating right now at all. I'm too busy. And Moroney, look, she can say one thing, but another thing can be going on behind the scenes with Nick Bosa. Maybe they have an agreement that they're going to keep their things private, but when you're hanging out with the wags of the Niners players and wearing the 9 and not including the 7, like only hinting at maybe half of Nick Bosa, I don't know, whatever, but when there's smoke, there's fire. Maybe something was happening. Maybe there was something in October and we're all the way in November now, but she is claiming or insisting that she is single. Maybe they're just casual, who knows? But as far as we know, from her lips, that she is single.
We know many people believe LeBron James could have had a career in football, but what about football? U.S. men's national team player Diego Luna tells us how good King James could have been on the pitch. Next on TMZ Sports.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Lucas and Luca here. LeBron James can do it all. Basketball legend, businessman, amazing actor. But could he have also been a soccer superstar? Well, we spoke to U.S. men's national team star Diego Luna out at LAX this week, and he thinks so. He actually said LeBron James, the king, could have been the king of the pitch.
We got so many crazy, just athletic freaks in America. You know? If you could take any athlete, any American athlete, and put them on your soccer team, right, to contribute to Team USA, and actually you think they could help, who would it be?
Let's go LeBron, man. Put him up top, scoring goals, headers, just bossing people around up top. That'd be pretty sick.
He got the speed. I mean, he's a little older now.
I think now, but I say in his prime, he'd be a baller for sure.
If you had prime LeBron.
Prime LeBron,
Damn, that's real.
That would be awesome.
Luca, I don't know if this is true or not, but the streets are saying you're a soccer guy, football guy. What do you make of this? Do you think, how would it look if LeBron James went out there and was doing headers and scoring goals and hat tricks or what have you?
Well, you know, back when I played on the Colorado Monkfish youth team back in the day, I was quite the baller, okay? But with that being said, I honestly think when he's talking about him hitting headers, him scoring goals, I think he's dead wrong. I'm sorry to disagree with you, Diego. I think LeBron should be in the goal. You know, I think 6'8" LeBron as a goalie, I don't think anybody's getting by him. But honestly, seeing LeBron out there would be insane. I mean, seeing his high school wide receiver highlights, he's obviously talented. He could do anything he wants to do. Seeing him on the soccer field would definitely be something very interesting. But I never quite would have considered him to be like my celebrity other athlete that goes and plays soccer. I don't know about you, but that would be my first choice.
I know a lot of people were saying Russell Westbrook, like a prime Russell Westbrook would be really good, but I think you bring up a fantastic point that LeBron in goal, I mean, I don't know if anyone would score on him, but yes, like you mentioned, LeBron James, fantastic football player in high school. A lot of people thought that he could have made it to the NFL. Football, on the other hand, well, Diego thinks so.
Just a reminder, guys, we are streaming daily, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, on all the TMZ and TMZ Sports social media accounts. We're talking YouTube, X, Facebook. Check us out. Next, we're going to talk about Brock Lesnar going viral for the wrong reason. The Beast incarnate with an embarrassing fall on Monday Night Raw when TMZ Sports returns right after this.
We are going to count down the 10 most outrageous stories of the year.
I'm not incapacitated.
Over 10 million page views.
Amazing. This wedding costs between $20 and $50 million. Crazy. The biggest case since O.J. Simpson. Don't you say that. I know the two words you're going to say. Baby oil.
TMZ's most outrageous moments of 2025. Stream on Hulu now.
It's outrageous.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Babcock and Danny. Now WWE Raw going down last night, and well, you know, these WWE superstars, they look like big, scary badasses usually during their what do you call it? Is it a walk? What would
entrance.
There's no special name for this, as it turns out. During their entrance last night, though, for Brock Lesnar, who, by the way, you may remember, was at one time the UFC's heavyweight champion. Yeah, he fell. Watch this.
Oh my, the Beast is here.
Boys want to fight? Don't forget to invite the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
So he tried to play it off, Danny. I don't know if he did or not. But.
I mean, he did a solid job when you think of it. You get embarrassed in front of, on Netflix, in a stadium full of people. Look at that. The role stood right back up. Sold it to perfection. I mean, Paul Heyman
don't know what the hell's going on.
To look down. What are you doing, bro?
Right. Paul clearly knows that's not part of the script, and then Brock is on his butt, and that was funny. Nobody else laughing at him, though. I don't think anybody wants those problems because
you don't want to piss Brock off.
Right?
You don't want to get on Brock's bad side. If you laugh at him, then he might come in the back and start swinging on you.
At a certain point, the Netflix cameras will shut off, and you'll have to go into the locker room in the back, and then you're going to be standing back there with a very pissed off Brock Lesnar, and I don't think anybody wants that. So he's probably one of the only guys that could have that happen to, and everybody else not going to say a word. Moving on to what could be a big-time movie sequel that may be getting made. I don't know. Don't buy your movie ticket yet, but with everybody talking about the possible production of Rush Hour 4 coming out, we may actually be getting a Juwanna Mann 2. I don't know if you can make the movie. these days, I don't know. It either is perfectly acceptable in 2025 or there's no chance that it could happen. But if it is, and there has been some talk, well, Miguel A. Nunes, who was the star of the first movie, of course, that now came out decades ago, he's got some big named stars that he would love to have in the sequel. We recently ran into him at LAX, and he's going after some big names. Watch this.
Who else is going to be part of it?
Tommy Davidson, a few of the same cast. It's going to be fire, bro.
Oh, that's amazing. Any sort of cameos?
Oh, yeah, everybody.
Everybody?
I hope Andrew Reid, Richard Clark, Steph Curry, he was in the first one. He was in the first one anyway.
Oh, Angel Reese would be fire in it.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, you'd like Caitlin Clark in that?
I love her. I love Andrew Reese.
How would your character, how would Jamal go against Caitlin Clark?
I'd beat her ass.
I love that.
I'd beat her ass and I'd marry Andrew Reese.
So there's the plot of the movie. There's the plot of the movie.
Yeah, I guess you don't even have to see it in theaters now. But here's the thing.
I'm not sure it's going to be in theaters.
We talked about how this movie might not get made in the year 2025 or 2026.
Yeah.
He says it actually makes more sense now to do it. I don't really understand the reasoning behind that because everyone gets offended about everything anymore. But we did talk to him a couple years ago too, and he kind of gave us a similar update on the movie. So I wouldn't hold your breath.
I think he's trying to speak it into existence.
Right, manifest it.
I'm just not much sure that a movie where you've got a man dressing up as a woman and then kicking everyone's ass is gonna be able to get greenlit these days. I'm feeling like no.
I respect the enthusiasm and the positivity on this, but yeah, especially with players who are in the WNBA, I do not think they will be allowed to even do this if they wanted to. But
I mean, maybe we're wrong.
Shout out to him for trying.
Yeah, he said there's conversations being had. It is worth noting that Caitlin Clark's probably the biggest women's basketball star that we've ever seen. So, and Angel Reese is not too far behind her. So, but if it does happen, he is going to date Angel Reese and he's going to kick Caitlin Clark's ass, apparently. I don't know. We're going to go now, though. We'll end this show. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.
I'm a lawyer.